long before coins, before banks. Before anyone had ever written down the word money, a human being reached into a riverbed, picked up a strange, heavy, glowing yellow rock, and had absolutely no idea they were holding on to something that would one day start wars, build empires, and define entire economies. They just thought it looked beautiful. That single moment, someone noticing gold for the first time, is one of the most quietly powerful turning points in human history. So when did it actually happen? And why did this one shiny metal end up meaning more to humans than almost anything else we've ever dug out of the ground? Here's something most people don't realize. Gold was likely one of the very first metals humans ever encountered, even before copper, bronze, or iron. And there's a simple reason why. Most metals are trapped inside ores, chemically bonded with rock, requiring heat and smelting to extract. Gold is different. It occurs in nature as a native metal, meaning it can be found in a pure, usable form, as nuggets or flakes in riverbeds and shallow deposits, without any smelting or complex processing required. Early humans didn't need advanced technology to find gold. They just needed to notice it. So, when does gold first show up in the archaeological record? The earliest known worked gold artifacts come from the Varna Necropolis, an ancient burial site in modern-day Bulgaria, dating back to around 4500 BCE, making these gold objects roughly 6,500 years old. This site contained thousands of gold artifacts, including jewelry, ornaments, and ceremonial items, representing what many archaeologists consider the oldest large-scale evidence of gold craftsmanship anywhere in the world. This wasn't a single lucky find, it suggests an already established tradition of gold working in that region at the time. It's important to separate two different questions. When do we have solid archaeological proof of gold use, and when did humans actually first stumble upon gold in nature? The Varna gold represents skilled craftsmanship, shaping, hammering, and decorative techniques, which strongly implies gold had already been known and worked with for some time before that site existed. Given how gold naturally appears in visible, glinting nuggets in stream beds, it's highly likely scattered individual discoveries happened even earlier, potentially thousands of years before, simply without leaving behind evidence that survived or has been found yet. Once found, it's easy to understand why gold captured human attention almost instantly. Its color alone made it strikingly different from the grays and browns of ordinary rock and stone. It has a unique, permanent shine that doesn't dull, rust, or tarnish over time, unlike many other materials early humans worked with. It's also remarkably soft and malleable compared to stone, meaning it could be shaped, hammered, and worked using relatively simple tools without needing fire or advanced techniques. In a world made mostly of dull, practical materials, gold must have looked almost unnatural, untouched by decay, permanently beautiful. This is a crucial point that's easy to miss. Early gold had absolutely nothing to do with currency or economics. There was no concept of money yet in the way we understand it. Instead, early gold use centered around personal ornamentation, status display, and religious or ceremonial significance. Because gold never tarnished or decayed, many early cultures associated it symbolically with immortality, the divine, and the eternal, a material that seemed to defy the natural cycle of decay that affected almost everything else. Few civilizations connect to gold quite as strongly as ancient Egypt. Egyptians had access to significant gold deposits, particularly in Nubia, to the south, and gold became deeply tied to religious belief, associated specifically with the sun god Ra and considered the literal flesh of the gods. This is why so much Egyptian royal and religious art, tomb decoration, and burial items, famously including artifacts from Tutankhamun's tomb, were crafted from gold. It wasn't decoration for its own sake. Gold was believed to carry genuine spiritual and divine significance. As different ancient civilizations encountered gold, techniques for working it gradually became more sophisticated. Early humans primarily used cold hammering, shaping raw gold nuggets through direct force. Over time, more advanced techniques developed, including alloying gold with other metals like silver or copper to change its properties, and eventually intricate techniques like filigree and granulation, creating delicate decorative patterns using tiny beads or threads of gold. These innovations spread and evolved independently across multiple ancient cultures, from Mesopotamia to the Indus Valley to early Chinese civilizations, each developing their own artistic and technical relationship with the metal. Gold's transition from purely symbolic material to something resembling economic value happened gradually, tied closely to a few key properties. Its rarity meant it couldn't simply be gathered endlessly. giving it inherent scarcity. Its durability meant it could be stored, traded, and passed down across generations without degrading, unlike food or organic materials. And its portability and easy divisibility, being able to melt gold down and reshape it into different sized objects, made it naturally suited for trade long before formal currency existed. These same properties are precisely why gold eventually became one of the earliest, widely recognized forms of a value-holding material across many separate civilizations. It's worth noting that actual gold coinage, standardized units of gold used specifically as currency, didn't appear until much later, generally credited to the Kingdom of Lydia in modern-day Turkey around 600 BCE. That means there's an enormous gap, roughly 4,000 years, between the earliest known worked gold artifacts and the first actual gold coins. For most of gold's early history, it functioned as jewelry, ceremonial object, and symbol of status and divinity, not as money in any modern sense. This slow transformation actually tells us something important about how human value systems develop. A material doesn't become valuable the moment it's discovered. Value emerges gradually, shaped by cultural meaning, scarcity, craftsmanship, and social agreement over very long periods of time. Gold's journey from a curious, shiny rock to a sacred material tied to gods and rulers, to eventually becoming a standardized medium of exchange, took thousands of years, mirroring how complex human social and economic systems themselves developed alongside it. There's something revealing in the fact that early humans didn't rush to use gold for tools or weapons, because frankly, gold is far too soft to be practical for cutting or hunting compared to stone, bronze, or eventually iron. Instead, one of the very first things humans consistently did with gold was make it beautiful. Jewelry, ornamentation, ceremonial objects. This suggests that early human interest in aesthetics, status, symbolism, and spiritual meaning ran just as deep as their interest in pure practical survival, even in eras we often imagine as purely focused on basic subsistence. From those first nuggets noticed glinting in the ancient riverbeds, gold went on to influence trade routes, religious systems, royal power structures, and eventually entire global economies, an influence wildly disproportionate to its actual practical usefulness as a raw material. Few discoveries in human history carry that same strange arc. Something found essentially by accident, valued initially for pure beauty and spiritual symbolism, that eventually reshaped how entire civilizations organized power, wealth, and trade. And so, when did early humans first discover gold? The earliest solid evidence points to around 6,500 years ago, though the very first accidental discovery was likely even earlier, made by someone simply picking up a strange, gleaming rock from a riverbed with absolutely no idea what it would eventually become. It took thousands of years and countless civilizations for that curiosity to slowly transform into currency, power, and global economic systems. What do you think that very first person imagined they'd found? Let us know in the comments and subscribe for more videos uncovering the surprising origins of the things we now take for granted.